Go down there to the gun store and buy you a few brand new pieces. Pistol, shotgun, and AR-15. You'll be in debt. You think your student debt is a lot? You go down there and try it. Just 20 of them, just go around there and buy them. So if you got hundreds of thousands of people coming from refugee camps, I don't know if y'all ever been to a refugee camp, but I've been to this one in Peshawar, right on the border between Pakistan and I was on the Pakistani side most of the time. It ain't nothing there. The people, it's a refugee, it's a real refugee camp. Tents, all of that, there's no infrastructure, right? And then you're going to roll out of there with brand new $50 million tanks. That's on sale, $50 million. That's on sale. Because I don't know how much a new Abrams tank is. Maybe they got a price for a new Abrams. But brand new, the latest Abrams tanks, what is the price of it if you can find it? But them tanks, whatever it was, they come rolling out of there with tanks, new weapons, and they took over Afghanistan. And they attacked the Shias all the time. They attacked Mazar Sharif. They did this, they did that. So for us to say, the second go-round, that the United States done left all of those weapons there for them, they left them there for a reason. You see what I mean? They left them there for a reason. They left them there, huh?
8.5. Okay, you got 8.5. I saw 8.5 million. That's what I saw. Adjusted for inflation. Oh, yeah, right. Adjusted for inflation. 8.9. I got 8.9. He said
8.9 million. 9 million per tank. 9 million per tank. When I was in Africa, here's what they said: for one jet fighter, they could build a whole university for one. But they left $1 zillion. In fact, they brought them there 2 or 3 weeks before they was leaving. And they left it. They left it, why? Because they thought, number one, we're not going to leave them. We're going to leave them there starving to death. So if we leave them with no money, they got to rob all the people, right? That's what they got to do. They just bombed the Shia Masjid yesterday, day before. It was Friday. Yeah. And it's not they've been doing it. The Hazaras, they look different. They have an Asian look.
I heard he said most of them are black belts in judo.
The Hazaras.
Because the Taliban, you heard that? I hadn't heard that. Because the Taliban won't let them have weapons. So they're all black belts in judo. That's what came out.
Well, not only that, I used to be at programs with all of them. I could see the faraway look in their face all the time that our people are catching it. Everybody's catching it. But we'll get back to that in a minute. The point is that if you go back to does anybody remember what the Great Game theory was all about? The Great Game. If you go back to the 19th century, the Great Game theory was Russia and England, the British Empire, and the Great Game theory met in Afghanistan. And Afghanistan was the Afghanis was whooping the British to death. And they whooped them more than one time, Khyber Pass in 1854 was one. But anyway, now the Russians didn't get their whipping till they came in the last century. But can you imagine at that time, I think the population hadn't exploded. But at that time, the population was 16 million in Afghanistan, and they killed 1.6 million people. 10% of the population. That's a lot of people. And they ain't giving up. What are you talking about? You know. I said, well, anybody would have sense to leave them alone. So the U.S. stayed there 20 years. And the U.S. is dangerous at all stages. You know, when you're getting tired, my partner he fought for the championship. In fact, he trained George Foreman. He's a good friend of mine. And he used to teach me a little bit. What it was when we was in prison camp, you can't fight, you box. You can do it in prisons, in state prisons and all that. But they don't have that kind of insurance for the federal pen. They got a heavy peg and all that. So we used to slip over to the gym. Now, Charlie was training a guy but he didn't have nobody to spar with him. So I went to the halfway house and I came back. When I got back, Charlie was there. So Charlie's a friend of mine. So he was leading the poor brother on. So he taught me a lot about real boxing. You know what I mean? And what he was doing, he was training me to have a sparring partner for the guy that he's training that when he get out. Anyway, he got me trained up, and then I kind of blackened the guy's eye and all that. So that he didn't want to train a whole lot after that, because if a novice, you know what I mean, can do that, you could imagine if you get in the ring with people that's what they do all day long. Anyway, when we were, the best way we can look at it is like this. We're in a state right now, and it's not new to us, the global strategy of Islam. Global strategy of Islam. The government knows where we're coming from, and they've been knowing where we've been coming from. They've been knowing that. We've been knowing I was getting out of prison in 81, and they said, we don't want you to do no more Islam, da-da-da-da-da-da. I didn't listen to them, but I remember I showed y'all, that's what it says. It's clear what it is. We don't want you doing that no more. Whatever it is, of course, I didn't need the money, and I didn't need to work. I was working at the car wash. I never went to work. That was my partner's car wash. Remember working at the car wash? And that's what Negroes had. It was big. He was a big dope dealer. But his car wash was really, he was making money at the car wash. It was minor money compared to what he made everything else he was doing. But that's what he did. He'd be there with his car washing clothes on, sitting in his little office, you know what I mean, washing all the cars. Okay, but the point was, they had an idea from what had already happened the years before. You got to remember, the police had first of all, we did in Oakland. Oakland was just the right size. It was just the right time to do the same thing Dr. King was talking about. We was actually doing it during the same time he's talking about it. When the man was talking about, Dr. Franklin was talking about black power, that he had heard. He's talking about what he had heard from so and so. That was 1969. That was right in the middle of what we was doing, what he was talking about right then. We was doing it in Oakland. What was Oakland? It was just the right size. Chicago, New York might have been too big. It was just the right size, just the right time for, it's an area where if you get around, you know the whole, that your city, both sides of the city, you know it, or people know you. And if you got enough going on, when they see your car or cars, they know that go big so-and-so, that goes such and such. And they all do this. And everybody know exactly what's going on. And they're pretty accurate too. Because they see you walking down the street or driving down the street, or they go to your record shop so they know how many businesses, they think they know, how many businesses tied to each other. That was a wonderful time. We were doing Black Power when other people was talking about it. And when they killed Dr. King, they killed him. We're not having that. But you got to remember, we slipped up on the white man. We slipped up on him. Remember I showed y'all the two pictures? This is the one, you can see the free Huey Nutton, black jackets, stingy brim, all that. And then I show you the other picture. White suit, mink hats, mink buttons, all that, alligator shoes. And like I say, that was a disguise. But it served purposes, big purposes. Number one, to get everybody's attention. What do everybody want? Cadillacs. So if I bought advertisement on the radio and the television, I would pay so much money for it. But if I bought 4 or 5 people brand new Cadillacs, okay, that costs so much money, but I would pay 10 times that much buying advertisement, right? Think about it. You go broke going down the radio station. I used to say, how much it cost for that? I said, shoot, I ain't getting no advertisement. It's too expensive. But I could buy one Negro a new Cadillac, or just about new Cadillac. Guess what? That gets all, you won't believe it, how much people talk about it. Remember, in a town that size, everything is going. So all they talked about was us. So I would go by somebody, I'd see a friend walking down the street, man, you looking. We would go to school together when I would go, that much, but we knew each other in the neighborhood. Man, you're looking pretty bad there, brother. Man, Big Hank, you really doing it, I'm telling you. I said, man, come on with me then. You ought to be happier than that. Boy, nigga, you look pitiful, I tell you. Come on down. And I'd buy him a Cadillac. You happy, nigga? Yeah, man, I'm happy as I can be. I mean, but I actually would do that, and everybody know it. And I was doing it because that's what I did. But the advertisement, I would have to pay $100,000 for that. All they're going to talk about. And every time you drive down the street, instead of having a sign, you can send them down the street in a new Cadillac with Vogue tires on it and stuff. Hey, man, it was unbelievable. So, anyway, we had something going on, and we were ahead of our time. And it fooled Boss Man because he had started me to selling whatever it was. In fact, I'm going to get the people collaborated when I get back out there. When I get out there, I ain't no hurry to get back to California. You know why? I'll get to that in a minute. The mission that we're on now is the mission. It's an unbelievable mission. Just like what we did years ago, that same thing is going now, except on a bigger level. Why? Nobody is thinking about the whole global Islamic movement. They don't have time. And nobody's feeling about how everything is intersecting. They're looking at their part. They're looking at their part. Iran is doing a wonderful job. There's no sense of lying. They're doing a wonderful job. They have themselves and they survive. You ought to see them, the way they building whole new industries. Oh, man.